I attend a Jesuit law school that does not provide contraceptive coverage in its student health plan. And just as we students have faced financial, emotional, and medical burdens as a result, employees at religiously affiliated hospitals and institutions and universities across the country have suffered similar burdens.
A mother and father in adjoining cells, accused of dousing their teenage daughter, Anusha, in acid. Her crime, looking at a boy. He approached our house, her father, Mohammed Zafar, said. She turned to look at him. I told her before not to do that. I started beating her. Then her mother brought the acid. It left its mark on her mother, Zaheen, who gives a chilling account of Anusha's desperate pleas. She said, I didn't do it on purpose. I won't look again. By then, I had thrown the acid. It was her destiny to die this way.
عرس ولما متى فهمتي انك تزوجتي؟
يعني ما كنت خارجة.
رايحة فين؟
روحة بسرت بعدين.
روحة فين؟
للبيت بيت عمي.
بيت الزوج يعني؟ تزوجتي ابن عمك؟
ايوه.
كم عمره؟
26 سنة. بعدين ذكرت وبكيت.
ايش كنت تفكري لما كنت تروحي مع بيت عمك؟
ايش كنت افكر؟
كنت تقولي في نفسك انا فين؟ ايش كنت تقولي؟
كنت احس ان انا غريبة.
كم جلستي مع الزوج؟
11 يوم.
طيب وكنت تعرفيهم من قبل؟
ايوه
ابن عمك؟
يعني
ما كنتش تحبيهم مثلا؟
لا كنت حبهم.
طيب وبعدين ايش اللي خلاكي تزعلي لما تزوجتي؟ لما رحتي عنده في البيت ايش اللي صدمك؟
كل شيء.
كان بيضربك؟
ايوه مرة.
Rajasthan is the epicenter of India's child marriage. More than half of the girls born in this state become child brides before the age of 15.
It's very challenging.
Most of India's rural poor live on less than $1 a day, so marrying off a daughter means one less mouth to feed.
Girls are seen as a liability and burden. The girl's family is responsible for paying the dowry, so the longer they wait to get the girl married off, the more they'll have to pay the future in-laws.
To evade the law, families will often perform marriages in secret, usually late at night. It's shortly after 9 o'clock in the evening. Very, very busy streets, as you can see. But where we're going is into the interior villages of this part of Rajasthan. Our team isn't allowed to film Patel's bride, who is said to be no more than 8 or 9 years old.
The parents always lie about the child's age. Families know what they're doing is not right, but because of culture and economic reasons, the parents will marry their children off at a young age.
It sometimes takes the case of just one to shed light on the suffering of so many. A child's rights group says that a Yemeni child bride, Fawzia Ahmadi, labored for 3 days before dying along with her baby on Friday. She was just 12 and was married at 11, a practice all too common in the tribal region of western Yemen, where she's from, and a continuing problem throughout the poorest country in the Middle East. With every labored breath, these vulnerable newborns are one step closer to survival by receiving the specialized care that's all too rare in Yemen. These compromised young lives are many times the offspring of children. And at bedsides throughout the maternity ward in Yemen's capital, Sana'a, there are stories of girls too young to have children who die trying.
Human rights organizations say there are about 400 runaway housemaids in Dubai's prison outside the gates of the city. Even if they have been maltreated or raped, they are given no opportunity to challenge their employers' versions. Only those with a valid return ticket are set free and packed off to their home countries. Dubai's government refused to grant us an interview about these reprehensible practices. A number of official requests to the government's Public Information Office were simply ignored. The powers that be in Dubai still stubbornly refuse to concede housemaids even minimal rights of protection.
أنا صح إنني هربت من أهلي صح أنا ما عاد أشتيش عندهم خلاص أنا أشتي أعيش عند عمي إيش براءة الطفولة إيش ذنب الأطفال من تتزوجوهم كذا يعني مثلا أنا بحل مشكلتي صح بس بعض الأطفال براءتهم ما يحلوش مشكلتهم يمكن يموتوا يمكن ينتحروا يمكن يفعلوا اللي براسهم لأنهم أطفال ما يدروش بحاجة يعني عندهم ما تعلموش ولا درسوا ولا حاجة يعني إيش ذنبنا إحنا مش الوحيدة أنا يمكن كل الأطفال في ناس كثير.
It involves removing and damaging healthy and normal female genital tissues and interferes with the natural functions of girls' and women's bodies. Immediate complications can include severe pain, shock, bleeding, tetanus, bacterial infection, urine retention, open sores and genital region, and injury to nearby genital tissues. So, what are the long-term consequences? Recurrent bladder and urinary tract infections, infertility, the need for late surgery, for example, the FGM procedure that seals or narrows a vaginal opening, like type 3, the infibulation. It's surgically changed to allow for sexual intercourse and childbirth, and sometimes stitched closed again afterwards. An increased risk of childbirth complication and newborn deaths, flashbacks, anxiety, nightmares, and a whole lot more.
Jamelia, lives in Leighton, East London. At the end of Year 7, during the summer break, she was taken to Mogadishu by her mother to be cut. She was 12.
So then I just lay down, and I remember looking up on the ceiling and just staring at the fan. The woman who cut me, I remember she had one grey eye. She was very old, and I remember before it began, I was still lying there. She was negotiating with my mum with the money, and my mum had to pay her extra for using a new razor. And I remember the blood everywhere. And actually, one of the maids, we had these Ethiopian maids, one of the maids actually saw her pick up the bit of flesh that they cut out, and because she was mopping in the blood, because there's blood everywhere.
When the circumcision happens, they tie your legs together so you don't take big steps, because if they take big steps, the stitch come out. Second, you have to go to the toilet and pass urine, and that was hell. You can cry, but it was kind of like a shameful thing if you actually cry or if you show that you're scared. So you kind of have to be this tough 7-year-old child.
It was odd because no one says to you, this is a secret, keep your mouth shut, but that's the message you get loud and clear. So I didn't really discuss it with anyone. Not even with the girls from my country who I probably assumed had the same done. I didn't really talk to anyone. Kind of like personal pain, don't tell anyone else about it, what's the point?
As I was talking with some of your leaders, you share a similar concern here in China. You have no safety net. Your policy has been one which I fully understand, I'm not second guessing, of one child per family. The result being that you're in a position where one wage earner will be taking care of 4 retired people. Not sustainable. So hopefully we can act in a way in a problem that's much less severe than yours, and maybe we can learn together from how we can do that. So hopefully we can act in a way in a problem that's much less severe than yours, and maybe we can learn together from how we can do that.
Their faces say everything. This is a couple broken by China's one-child policy. A mother forced into an abortion 3 months before her baby boy was to be born.
Another victim of a forced late-term abortion in China is demanding justice and compensation. On Monday, Beijing lawyer Xu Tan said he was representing a 30-year-old father of 2, Wu Liangjie, from Daji town in Fujian province. Wu's wife, 30-year-old Pan Chunyan, who was 7 months pregnant, was forcibly given an injection in April to kill her unborn son. Wu said officials told them in March to pay 45,300 yuan, or Pan would need to have an abortion. Wu paid the village 20,000 yuan, but the money was returned a month later. Pan was abducted by authorities and locked up with other pregnant women. Wu was then asked to pay a 55,000 yuan fine. which he said he paid to the township's officials. Yet 2 days later, several cars full of over 60 people came to take Pan to a hospital in Xianyou, where she was forcibly given the injection.
Speaking at the hearing in the U.S. Capitol was China Aid President Bob Fu, who condemns the practice of forced abortions and wants the U.S. government to speak out against it. We are urging to stop this brutal one-child policy, especially this type of brutal behavior, forced abortion and the policy of forced sterilization.
While Mao once claimed that women hold up half the sky, the Commission report notes that, quote, sexual harassment reportedly remains prevalent in China, end quote. Trafficking for sexual exploitation, forced labor, forced marriage, they remain, according to the report, a major impediment to the achievement of full equality for women.
This is just exposing what this administration has been doing from day one, just like the 8 years of the Clinton administration, and that is to enable dictatorship, to enable forced abortion and forced sterilization. Let's not forget that at the Nuremberg War Crimes Tribunal, forced abortion was properly construed to be a crime against humanity. It is no less a crime against humanity today, and there's our vice president saying that he fully understands the one-child per couple policy, which has made brothers and sisters illegal in China. Imagine that. Every American that has a sibling or knows somebody who has a sibling in China, brothers and sisters are illegal, and the government, Big Brother in Beijing, tells you when and if you can even have the one. No unwed mothers have children. They're all hunted down and forcibly aborted unless they have their child on the run and hide out and can evade the so-called family planning cadres. You know, Hillary Clinton, en route to Beijing after being selected as Secretary of State, said, I'm not going to allow human rights to interfere, her word, with settling or peddling our debt as well as global warming. Obama, when he had Hu Jintao in town, who ought to be held for genocide and crime against humanity at the World Court, he said nothing. Had a state dinner for this man who ought to be behind bars, being held to account for his atrocities, including those focused on women. So this is in pattern. This is what these people, there's nothing except the exposition of their duplicity, their enabling. I've held 29 congressional hearings on human rights abuses in China with a focus in whole or in part on the forced abortion policy. It is hideous. Women are hunted down. If they evade these family planning cadres into the 9th month, they are forcibly brought into a clinic and aborted.
As I was talking with some of your leaders, you share a similar concern here in China. You have no safety net. Your policy has been one which I fully understand, I'm not second guessing, of one child per family.
I attend a Jesuit law school that does not provide contraceptive coverage in its student health plan. And just as we students have faced financial, emotional, and medical burdens as a result, employees at religiously affiliated hospitals and institutions and universities across the country have suffered similar burdens.